I'm getting a bit of a message coming through. I'm just gonna let it sit to the side for a second so we can focus on this message. But I am getting another sudden message tapping through that is slightly unrelated. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard to reset it. There is this energy wanting to come through. I'm going to address it first because it's being... I have a feeling that for a lot of you, this isn't someone that you're in close communication with, if any communication with. And they see your journey and they want that for themselves. And they wish they could come towards you just to ask you how you're doing, how you are healing. And that's why this was coming up as a warning, okay? Hello, beautiful, wonderful, majestic souls. My name is Dans. This is my channel, That Good Tarot, where we do timeless readings for anyone with any placements. If you've made your way to this reading, I do believe there is a message in here for you. However, if you don't resonate with this reading, that's cool, that's chill. Go check out my channel. There are so many other readings there. I am sure you'll find something that fits you. We have a huge download that came through this morning for you, and it is so beautiful. I am so excited to give it to you, starting with step into the light and let your truth guide the way. You are treading new ground and you don't even realize it, but you are making way for other people to follow in your footsteps to a higher level of success, of abundance, and of service. Absolutely gorgeous. I really love being in this energy of yours that you have here that is just so healing and so influential as well. I really see that you have achieved so much, you have worked so hard, and people really see that about you. People really admire that about you, and people really lean on you as a role model in their life. I don't think you realize that, but that you are an example to so many people. Let's pull some cards on this here. Universe, please, insight and information. What does this beautiful collective need to know about this energy on this day? I'm sorry for the pause. I'm getting a bit of a message coming through. I'm just gonna let it sit to the side for a second so we can focus on this message. But I am getting another sudden message tapping through that is slightly unrelated. There are so many beautiful people in this collective, so there is a lot of energy that comes through. I try my hard to really focus on one thing at a time, but there is a really strong feeling that is coming through. There is another energy around you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get through this download, and I am going to then focus on this energy that's trying to come through. Just one moment. Okay, there we go. Let's focus on you and your light right now before we focus on this energy of someone else, something else that's trying to come through. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Eight of Swords. We have everything is fine here. You have worked so hard to give yourself the love that you need to heal and grow, to become this divine healing light just within your world. And I don't think that you realize how powerful that has become. The way that you have healed yourself, the way that you have grown through adversity, you may feel like, okay, and I've made from the fire, I can do anything. But I don't think you realize like how powerful you have become and how far-reaching your energy is and how far-reaching your energy can be from this healing that you've done on yourself. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard to reset it. There is this energy wanting to come through. I'm going to address it first because it's being... I'm just going to put a pause on the download because we had a huge downloaded message, but there is this energy wanting to come through. I want to use another deck for this. Universe, please, what's this energy wanting to come through? I do feel like it's a warning more than anything else, and that's why I really wanted to focus on you. I really wanted to focus on you and your energy, and I do believe that this downloaded message came through, was channeled for you, but coming down, sitting down, someone has joined this reading, or maybe some of you have found this reading, and there needs to be a warning given to you. This like never happens. I try really hard to stay on track. But look, I'm not going to stop what guidance is knocking at the door to come through. There have been people in your past that did not see things correctly. And I almost feel like there are people in circles that you have left. Okay. There was a situation, maybe a workplace or a friend circle or a family situation that you left. You had to leave. You were like, no more. I'm choosing me. I'm picking me. I'm moving on. There are people within that are now being attacked by the same toxic people that you ran from, that you escaped from. As I tap into this energy, these people that are now stuck in the cycle that you were trapped in, they are so deeply trapped that they can't quite make the connection between, like, they think that it's their fault. I think they really see that, like, they are trapped in the same position that you were trapped in. They are trapped in the cycle of thinking that all of the bad that is happening to them is their fault. I don't think they've quite made the connection between the toxic people, or the toxic situation, or the toxic environment, that being the thing that's bad for them. In the same way that you didn't realize that that was the bad thing until you woke up, you realized, and you left that situation, you prioritized yourself. They're not at that stage. They're in the stage where they think that it's their fault because the toxic people, toxic person, the toxic environment makes them believe it's their fault. I would love to see them realize that that was the reason why you left, and to see them wake up to that too. But that's where they are. They're in a place where when I tap into their energy, they just feel like they still need to follow. They still need to fall in line. They still need to comply. They still need to obey. They still need to protect certain people. They still need to make excuses for certain people. They're still obligated. There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of obligation in this situation. Again, I'm feeling like this was a situation that you had felt and you had escaped from, and that you are healing from, or maybe you have healed from. But there are people in that situation that have now taken your space within that environment. They have taken up your role as the target. We have the Two of Wands, we have the Hermit, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. You really moved away to create something so new of your own. You've done so much internal work, and you are now coming back into the light. You have done so much on yourself. You have explored new worlds. It's kind of like you left that world behind for the new world that you are experiencing. Can I get some more information on the places that you left behind and why this is so integral that this is coming up in this reading right now? Okay. A lot of cards just filled. We have the Empress. We have the Five of Wands. Seven of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the Sun. Okay, so we have three pairs coming up here. Okay. Okay. It took me a while to get through this because the energy that is around you wants to come towards you. They see, like, they are in the place where they are blaming themselves. they are starting to get to the point where like they don't necessarily, they're not quite fully like woken up to it. They're not ready to admit that the person or environment that was toxic towards you is the same environment that is harming them or is toxic towards them. They're not ready to admit that. They can't see that yet. They still just think it's their own fault. However, they do see your journey. They kind of see it as two separate things. They see them in that environment being really down and thinking that that's their fault. And then they also just see your journey. They see your journey having left that place as almost individual to the place. They don't see how it's related. Like they see you stepping into this gorgeous, abundant, fruitful energy after feeling so defeated, after walking through so many battles. They can see how you are transforming in so many ways. They see the ways that you have been growing. They see the ways that you have been giving. They see all the ways that you have been taking care of yourself, that you have become more and more in tune with yourself, more and more in line with yourself. And they see the way that you are walking so actively and intentionally into your light. Like they see you. They see you through your socials. And I can see how they see you. They see you as glowing, like literally glowing. They see you as, like they've never seen you shine so bright. They literally see you as their sun. They literally, when they look at photos of you and they look at videos of you, they can see golden rays coming from you. Like you look so light. They haven't made the connection between the fact that you are like this now because you escaped a toxic situation and you have healed. They think that that was just your journey. They think that you were just down, and maybe in some ways, because they are thinking that they themselves are the problem, they think that when you were in that situation that you were the problem and that you've just worked on yourself and you've become so much better. And now they're in the place that you were, thinking that they're the problem, and they still aspire to be like you. They still aspire to do the journey that you have laid out for them. They want to follow in your footsteps in terms of the healing. This is probably why this has been coming up in this reading, because like I said at the start, you don't even realize, but you're making way for other people to follow in your footsteps to a high level of success, abundance, and service. Like they are seeing your path. Now for this particular person, it's coming up really, really strongly because they are still in the places that you have left. And they don't see that it was the place that you had left that was making you so dark, that was holding you back, was slowing you down. They don't see that. They too have abandoned themselves. And I don't think that they quite know now that in order for them to follow in your footsteps, they literally need to follow in your footsteps and leave toxic situations. They see you and they see the material things that you're doing, you know, pushing forward your business or pushing forward your projects or working on your social media presence if you're doing that kind of thing, like whatever it happens to be doing. They see the material things, they don't see the inner work. They don't see how they kind of go together. They don't see how everything is connected. They don't see your abundance and joy and light now as being directly related to the fact that you left a certain situation. So they want to follow in your footsteps, but they're not leaving that situation. And the reason why they can't follow in your light is because they are still abandoning themselves. They don't see that they're supposed to leave now. But why is this coming up for you now? That is the question. Let's just have a look at their intentions towards you. Universe, please, insight and information. What is this person's intentions towards the collective? Thank you. We have Judgment here. They want to start a new beginning with you. They want to come, they want to clear the air. They want to pick your brain as well. I have a feeling that for a lot of you, this isn't someone that you're in close communication with, if any communication with. And they see your journey and they want that for themselves. And they wish they could come towards you just to ask you how you're doing, how you are healing. And that's why this was coming up as a warning, okay? I do believe that, yes, okay, and we have the Five of Pentacles. This could very much be someone that you are not in contact with, and this is someone that feels like they will not be welcome if they try and come towards you. This may have been someone that was kind of collateral damage when you were escaping a certain place, when you were leaving a toxic situation. This may be someone that you were on good terms with, but was too aligned with the toxic place that you left, that you were like, you know what? Love you, but have to leave you. But they want to come towards you. They want to pick your brain. They want to start a new beginning for themselves, and they see the light and the light and the life that you've created for yourself, and they want that. Okay. Universe, please, insight, information. So the warning that came with this. Oh, so many cards coming out. Okay. We have the Two of Cups. Yes, they want to come towards you. They're even thinking in their mind all the things that all the ways that they could try and come towards you, the ways that they could try and talk to you, the ways that they could try and I feel like they're like, maybe I could try DMing them, or maybe I can try reach out through this person, or maybe if I say something like this to this person, it'll get back to them and maybe they'll reach out to me. Like, they're trying to devise all these different ways. We have Temperance, we have the Devil, we have the Four of Wands here. As much as this would be a very healing, clarifying thing if you went to them, this is extremely dangerous territory if you go towards this person, because they are still connected to the toxic places and toxic people that you were close to. And I do not feel like this person at this time is ready to accept that the place that they are and the people that they're close to, the people that they hold dear, are not healthy for them. They're not in a place where they're going to accept that. They're still in the place where they think that it's their fault. They think that it's their own issues. They are not seeing the way that they're manipulated. They're not seeing the ways that they're devalued. They're not seeing the way that they are being confused and used. They're not seeing it. Just like you didn't see it. They are still very endeared to the people that are holding them back. And any information that you want to give to help this person, I honestly feel like it is going to shake your foundations, and it's going to be more triggering than it's worth. Now, you know I'm not afraid of triggering here. That's fine if you're going to get triggered here, but I honestly feel there are a couple different things when it comes to this communication that are not going to be healthy for you if this person comes towards you at this time. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have this sit-down conversation with them. I'm saying that maybe this is like, you should wait until they come towards you and say, I see it now. I'm ready to have this conversation with you. Until they already come to you and say, I see what you went through. I see the things that were hurting you. I'm ready to have a conversation with you because I see these things now too. Until it's at that point, I don't think that you would be in a good position for having a conversation with them, because if you try and tell them why you are so healed now because you were away from those toxic influences, they're not going to accept that. They're not going to hear that. That's not going to help them because they're not ready to hear it. And that's also going to get back to those toxic people. In a way, they are kind of like, they are unintentional flying monkeys. They are unintentional minions. These people don't want to be feeding information back to the toxic places that you left. But if too early, if they're not ready to start to realize that those places are toxic, they are with their best intentions going to run back and tell them everything that you said about them. Because their loyalties lie with them, because they are endeared to them. It's hard for me to say this because this person really looks up to you. This person really wants to be on the journey that you've been on. This person really wants to step into the light that you have shown as an example, and wants to have a close connection with you because they feel like a close connection with you will be so fruitful for them. They really want someone like you in their world, someone who is so centered, someone who is working hard for themselves, someone who is going to build something for themselves, someone who glows so bright. Like they see themselves. It's almost like what I'm saying is they look at themselves in the mirror and they just see like gray. Like they just see so much gray. They don't see a lot of hope. They don't see a lot of optimism. And when they see you, you literally shine like gold. And they want that too. They don't want to take it from you, but they want to learn. Like they know that you were in a gray place as well. And they've seen you every week, every month, every year become more and more gold until you are shining so bright. It's like blinding. And they want help. They want your influence. They want to feel your energy. They miss you. But it's why it breaks my heart to say that I don't think that this is the time for you to be welcoming them back right now. Not until they are like, I get it. I see how you were held back. I can see now why you are flourishing being away from this environment. I can see how that environment was holding you down because they did that to me too. Can we please have a conversation? Because I need help seeing what I'm feeling. I'm feeling all of these things. I know I need to detach from this environment. Can you please help me? When that happens, then you can have the conversation with them. But they're not there. They don't think that it's anyone's fault except for theirs. They're still in a place of self-blame. They're still in a place of shame. They're still in a place of holding the people around them that are toxic up on a pedestal. And that's a really, really dangerous place for them to be and for them to reach out to you at. That's a dangerous place for you. It happened again, okay? It happened again when I like black out. I come to. Okay, so we got 2 lines into the download and we got 20 minutes interrupted by this energy that wants to come towards you. It's always good to know, and I honestly think that that was a really important warning to hear. Really, really important to hear. I hope that for those who resonated with that, I hope that you're doing okay. I hope that was helpful to you. Let's go on with the rest of the reading. This is going to be a long one. Okay. You will be finding a new way to connect, a new way to achieve, and a new way to bring forward your healing wisdom and your radiant energy. I really see that for some of you, you might be looking at kind of like different platforms entirely in which to do your work, entirely in which to do your business, like entirely. Like I really just see that you're going to be like, why am I trying to, I don't know, like have a storefront when I could possibly do much better doing direct to consumer online, TikTok and Instagram online business. Like that's just one example, but like you might be pivoting your entire model. You might be pivoting the entire way that you see that you could be making your art or your music or your creative pursuits. You're like changing the way that you are pushing that forward. You're actually changing like the medium. I think at the core, what you're making and what you are producing, it's the same thing, but the way that it's reaching people is going to be much more effective, but so left of center. But it's like, it's actually been so obvious. But the thing is, it's like, it's obvious, but it's not the traditional thing. It's not the normal thing. It's not what everyone else is doing. And so there might be a lot of fear in that. You might think that people around you that are kind of cloudy are kind of all that, or a little bit more like corporate. You might feel like you're just doing the things that no one else is doing, and it's just not normal for you to be focusing on certain areas, certain platforms, because that's not where success is usually achieved. But you're like, it just makes more sense. It makes more sense to me for me to put my time and effort there, because there I will actually get more monetary abundance than if I keep shooting for this goal. Like, this goal doesn't make sense. This goal doesn't make sense for me. This goal doesn't align with me anymore. There's a lot of that inner chatter happening within you right now. And I really see that that's going to shift the way that you are working. All that can stop you now is yourself. You must believe and you must take charge. You must believe and you must take charge. This is the season where everything that you have been building comes to fruition. Like I've said before, it's been said so many times in these readings, this is the reaping season. This is the harvest season. This is the season when everything is coming through for you, babes. We have the Four of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Chariot. You are building the foundation for your home. You are leaning into what your internal monologue is telling you, what your intuition is telling you, and you're moving forward on the path that you believe is right. And you know what's coming up? Okay, you're really smart. You're really smart. You can see, okay, I know that everyone's pushing towards this goal. I know everyone says that that's the thing to do. But wouldn't actually it make more sense for me short term and monetary and fiscally if I went in this direction? Wouldn't I get everything I want if I just went that way? I know not everyone else is doing that. I know everyone else is doing something else. Well, what if I did this thing over here? It's like, as soon as you click onto it, you're going to be like, oh, this is really obvious. This is really obvious. And what you don't realize is that, like, it is really obvious, but so many people are afraid of breaking outside of the norm and, like, doing something different. I think a lot of the time, because people are doing the thing that everyone else is doing, it's kind of like people fear they will be frowned upon if they do something different. So they're all just kind of on the same hamster wheel trying to chase the same thing over here, when there's a travelator over here that's going to walk you down that path and accelerate you as well. And you're like, why am I going to jump on the hamster wheel when there's literally a travelator over there? Like, I want to get from here to here. And then there's this travelator right there that I can just, like, jump on and it's going to go, whoop. It's going to get me there faster. But everyone's spinning on the hamster wheel trying to be the fastest hamster in the wheel. For what? And then they look at the people that aren't on the hamster wheel and it's like, well, what are you doing? Because they like feeling busy. And they like being like, oh, are you on the hamster wheel? I'm on the hamster wheel this many times a day. I'm doing this many things on the hamster wheel. It's like, you're still on a hamster wheel though. You're still not getting anywhere. Whereas I can see it would make sense if I got on at this point. Like, if I want to end up over there and there's a travelator right there. There's a travelator from here to having a lot more subscribers, having a lot more followers, having a lot more clients, having a lot more customers. Because this is where they all are. And if I do this type of thing and I do that enough, I'm going to get there a lot faster. But the hamster wheel doesn't get to the subscribers, doesn't get to the clients, doesn't get to the customers. It just makes the rest of the hamsters feel like they're busy. So all the hamsters are focused on that. But you're not. You are your own unique light. You're taking your own path and you're accelerating. So whatever it is that you are, like, gravitating towards, you're like, you know what, I'm actually going to reach more people and make more money if I just do this over here on this platform. And I actually don't care whether or not people around me think that that is a lower class platform or a lesser platform, or that I am doing something more simple and not something complicated and, you know, elitist, you know. You're just going to be like, no, I just don't care for it. I'm just going to go do the thing that I want to do in the most simplest ways, in the most effective ways. That's going to get me to my goals the fastest ways. And has less of this, like, noise competition going on. Don't let yourself backslide into self-sabotage. You are worthy of your dreams. You always have been. Drop that in the comments below. I am worthy of my dreams and I always have been. The only thing that can stop you now is you. So it is more important than ever that you take action on your goals. Don't give your brain or your subconscious time to try and slow you down, to bring you back to your normal or your comfortable. This is really getting into this idea that, like, our body doesn't like change. Our body doesn't want change. Our body wants the familiar. And leaning into change can be really, really hard. But you will be achieving and succeeding more than you ever have in your entire life. We have the Tower, we have the Hierophant, we have the Magician. Nothing that you are coming into is going to feel normal. This level of achievement, this level of success, it's not going to feel normal. It's going to feel different. It's going to feel like a massive change. And in some ways, your brain and your body is going to try and sabotage you in that, because our body and our brain doesn't like change. That's not safe. Change isn't safe. And You are working perfectly if your body and your brain is trying to work against you. Understand that not wanting change is a way that our survival mechanisms try and keep us safe. Even if it's a positive change, even if we are positively changing, our body, our mind doesn't like change. This is why when you are coming into this season that is so abundant, you really need to make sure that you're putting kind of like practices in place to try and subvert the self-sabotage. Like I said, the old ways of doing things, gone. Your old norms of how your life is going to be, gone. Your comfort levels, gone. You are going to be achieving a level of success that is not normal to you. It will require you subverting your self-sabotage to make sure that you can have it and keep it. Because you are stepping forward. You are transforming. This is a time of transformation. This is a time of transformation. Drop it in the comments below. This is a time of transformation. This is a time of transformation. When we do this, we kind of need to be like tricky with our subconscious. When we know that change is coming up, when we want change to happen, you kind of need to be a little bit tricksy with how you are implementing change so that you can avoid self-sabotage, so that you can ease yourself into change in a way that means it's going to stick around. You need to like trick your brain into letting you succeed. So the first thing is like you need to take action. You need to take action quickly. And you need to do that before your body thinks, do I want to do that? If something that you want to do is be more physically active, before you think about like, do I want to go to the gym or do I want to go for a walk, just put your running shoes on. Put your running shoes on, grab your keys, get out of the house and shut the door behind you. Don't think about whether or not you want to do it, because you wanting to do it doesn't come first. You doing it gives you the feeling that you want to do it, but you wanting to do it doesn't help you do it. We're talking about in terms of like finding motivation. Action comes before motivation. We have the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands. We have Judgment coming up here as well. This is about creating new spaces, new environments for you to settle in. And this is again about igniting a fire within yourself through action. Ignite the fire within yourself through action. You can't think your way into action. You just have to move into action. I know that sounds like, oh, but I can think my way into action. No, you can think your way into thinking and think your way into more thinking. And then while you're thinking about thinking, you're like, oh, should I also make a coffee? Or maybe I'll do this before I feel good about doing this. And then that's how you get into your procrastination state. And then the day is gone. And then you're like, oh, I can do it tomorrow. Which you can. All power to you. But you could have also done it today if you just put your shoes on. Like, don't even let yourself think about it. Put your shoes on, get outside the house, grab your keys, shut the door behind you. Go for a walk. And I'm not even talking about going for a walk in terms of like physical fitness. It might be what you want to do. It might just be like, I'm going outside more. That came up in the last reading a lot. I'm just going outside more. I'm getting more sun on my skin. If that is something that you want to action. The second part of tricking your brain into allowing change to happen is about doing it really like small and gentle. It's about, again, tricking your brain into letting success be in your life and letting achievement and letting action and letting motivation be in your world. And this is by doing it very, very small little changes, 1 or 2 at a time. So if you're going to go for a walk, do a 10-minute walk. Do a 15-minute walk. Make it a walk where you're going to this spot and back. Don't make it a big, arduous, heavy thing that's going to be hard for you to repeat. Do a 3-minute dance video. Do a 20-minute journaling thing. 10-minute journaling thing. Or you just take yourself out to a coffee shop and you sit and you just type away at your laptop for a little bit on your journaling, if that's what you do, or take a notebook. Tiny little changes, tiny little things. Maybe it's getting up and making your bed in the morning. Maybe it's if you're the kind of person that maybe doesn't have a job that starts early in the morning and you find yourself sleeping in till about like 10 a.m., you set an alarm for 9:30. Then have that for 3 days. On the 4th day, set an alarm for 9 a.m. Set an alarm for 8:30 a.m. Like, just ease the change in. The more you ease that change in, the less likely it is that your brain and your body will pick up that, oh my God, a massive change is happening and now I need to like take 4 days like laid out on the couch because I'm trying to get myself back into a stagnant state. Again, tricking your brain into letting you have success. Everything as well is patience and consistency. Little bit by little bit. Progress is made up of 2 things. Patience and consistency. So drop that in the comments below to strengthen that in your mind. Progress is made of patience and consistency. If you're prone to self-sabotage, then you need to find ways around your brain fighting against you. And I say this with so much love. I'm just now realizing how varied this reading has been. I think this reading was mostly supposed to be about this, and then we got interrupted by that other very important warning. But yes, I say this with so much love because I too have been prone to self-sabotage. I too have been in places where success has been really scary. Change has been really, really scary. I want us all to succeed. I want us all to be the highest versions of ourselves and be the most happy, joyous, successful, fulfilled versions of ourselves. And if what that takes is little bit by little bit so that we don't get in our own way, then that's what we're going to do, babes. We have Page of Swords, Queen of Swords, Eight of Wands. We're going to be chipping it away at it little bit. We are going to work smart. Work smarter, not harder. That is what we're doing, because we're going to make progress little bit by little bit, but every single day, every single week, you are putting yourself so much further ahead. Little bit by little bit. We're taking action. We're taking small action, and small action turns into big action. Like, think about it. Like, let's say, okay, I'm going to use body stuff just because it's such a tangible thing and it's a really good way to give an example. And I hope that you all understand that if I'm advocating for fitness, it's purely because I see the validity for mental health, how important it is to have movement in your world. And I think it's a beautiful thing to feel connected to your body, because I feel like in so many ways we can feel disconnected from our body. So I am a big advocate for, in any way that you can connect to your body, to yourself, show engagement and love for yourself. I'm so all for it. But let's say you decide to do 10 push-ups every day. That's going to be the way. That's the tiny little change that you make to your day to trick your body into being just a little bit more engaged. And again, 10 push-ups might take you 3 minutes. 3 minutes of the day and it's done. And you barely feel it afterwards. It's like 10 push-ups, okay, fine. And you do that every single day for a week. That's still 70 push-ups more than you would have done had you not done it. 2 weeks, that's 140 push-ups that you did that had you not done it. And honestly, you do something like that by day 3, by day 4, you're like, that's really easy. I could probably do like 20 push-ups. And in which case you start to do that more and more. And again, you're spending less than 10 minutes on it. And it's still so much more than you would have done had you not done it. Now let's also compare that to, say for example, the goal of going to the gym for 2 hours every single day, which is just so unrealistic and so much of a big change that you probably aren't going to uphold it. You're probably going to do that one day, get really, really sore for 4 days, and then maybe think about going back there again. But the chances of you going back and maintaining that as a routine, they're just not as strong. Like, how many times have people decided to get on a gym kick, and then you kind of go with a friend and you go really hard, and then you kind of just never go back again, or you maybe go 2 weeks later and it never becomes like a consistent thing. Where patience and consistency, you take it little bit by little bit. It can be something that you do every single day. And you doing it every single day for a really long time is so much better for you than going to the gym for 2 hours twice a month. And we know that, and we understand that, right? Let's get into some oracle cards. This reading's been a bit all over the place. I do feel like a lot of it has been so much about protecting your light at this time and protecting your goals, because there is so much coming up for you. And I know that like this is coming up because it could be because it is the start of a new year. It could be because this is such a fruitful season coming up for you. But I know that a lot of it's because you want so much more for yourself right now. The more I tap into this energy, I really feel how much there are so many of you that want so much for yourself. And the messages coming through are just trying to help you on that journey, are just trying to help you on that path, trying to help you avoid any potential pitfalls that might slow you down, including yourself, trying to subconsciously slow yourself down. So that's why we're getting these messages coming through. All right, universe, please, insight information. What does this beautiful collective need to hear on this day? Thank you. We have the Great Goddess, Transcendence, Divinity, Shakti. You are so much bigger than yourself. I know that sounds weird, but the light that you hold, the influence that you have, the way that you are an example to others, you actually don't realize that you are so much bigger than you perceive yourself to be. The influence and the reach that you have goes so much further than you can imagine. It is such a beautiful, it's a beautiful thing to hold, but with it comes like a lot of responsibility. I feel like we're going to, as the year goes on, find out more and more how to protect it, how to honor it, how to maintain it, and do what you are meant to do within this purpose for it. Because you have been through so much. This was all meant for something. What if your strangeness is actually your brilliance, the moon, duality, hidden gems, secret power? So many of these readings has been about you reclaiming yourself, protecting yourself. And now we're at the stage where it's like, and how are we going to move the most amazing, most authentic parts of you forward? How are we going to honor those parts the best? How are we going to shed the dead skin of who we were so that the best parts of ourselves can be reclaimed and shown to the world? Shedding the dead skin like a snake of the toxic places that used to hold us back, the trappings, the shackles that used to hold us down. Let your freak flag fly. And we have, could you surrender just a bit more? The seeker, all-seeing eye, spirit release. I do really see, we had the high priestess coming up. We had the magician coming up here. We had the queen of wands, queen of swords coming up here. There is so many intuitive hits coming towards you. There is a breaking of chains. There is a giving in. I think part of this is also about letting yourself surrender to your highest self, letting yourself surrender to success, letting yourself surrender to the next evolution of you. You really do need to surrender to it just as much as you need to work towards it, but like you need to let that part of yourself exist. You need to let this higher version of yourself exist. You need to let this version of yourself come into this reality to be manifested, to be realized. And a lot of that has to do with making sure that you aren't self-sabotaging, that you aren't trying to keep yourself in a place of darkness, in a place of stagnancy. You need to surrender to the future version of yourself. Know that they are going to be fine, they are going to be in control, they are going to be protected. And they are going to shine so bright, and they are going to be loved. It is worth you putting the effort in. You and your future are worth you putting the effort in. My future is worth putting the effort in. Drop that in the comments below. Whew, okay, last bits of oracle cards. Universe, please, insight, information. This is a long reading. It's a long reading for good tarot standards. Universe, please, insight, information. What does this beautiful collective need to hear on this day before we leave them for this reading? We have Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Again, you have people looking after you. You have people looking out for you. Your intuitive hits are real. They are true. They are authentic. The age of light. You have been training for this for lifetimes. The light within you did not just come from you. It came from the lives before you as well. You have so much to do here. Surrender to yourself. Surrender to your mission. Surrender to your destiny. Put the work in, the effort in to have it be realized. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. There will be people who will love you, appreciate you, and welcome you with open arms. They are waiting for you. I'm also going to pull a musical oracle card because I realized that I said I'd do that last time and I didn't. Okay. We have Tina Turner. It's not what happens that matters, it's how you deal with it. Oh my god, I just read ahead and these are so beautiful. Okay, let me say that again. It's not what happens that matters, it's how you deal with it. Purge your life of whatever brings you down. Oh, that's hitting so hard with that first bit of the reading that came through. The most beautiful lotus blooms in the deepest mud. I'm not even going to paraphrase that. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being with me in this reading, and I'll see you in the next one.